Big Bang, Little Bank, Butter Jam. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this. Thanks for joining me on this live edition. Sheffield, Stephen Heath. Hey buddy, I thought I'd do a live edition of this week's series of Coin to Coin. I've just got you guys up here. Yeah, initially I wasn't going to schedule it. I just thought I'd get in early enough, and then just get things cracking. You can see there the New Zealand coins are contributed, or the contributions from Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. So you guys know. David Carlisle, hey, Cigar Box Silver's here. Fantastic, thanks guys. This week's coins have been donated by Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. He lives in New Zealand and he sent through some awesome New Zealand pieces. You guys might have seen that on an unpackaging. I just want to give a shout out to the guys who have contributed so far. So we've got Silver Stanger. He contributed, that's this one right here. He contributed the American series of coins. Alex Cornwell Hunter sent through some Canadian pieces. Myself, obviously, I did the first episode with Ireland. Andre G, he sent through some German coins. And then we've also got Sander V sent through some Dutch pieces, which was awesome. Ancient Numismatics over here, he sent through a mixed bag. He chose South Africa as his first coin lot, so we thought we'd get on with that. And then the last episode was Jim Bob's Slim Pickens. He did Australia. For you guys that follow it, guys, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this. Boss Killer's in the house. Tessa Cunningham, thank you very much for joining me here. You'd have to go back if you want me to refresh, but this week's episode is sponsored by Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. I tried to get the angle right for the camera. Unfortunately, I had a bit of an issue, but so I decided to shoot from this angle. So I've managed to get everybody in, which is great. Stephen Heath says, got another 2019 quarter ounce gold Britannia. Fantastic. There you go. That's brilliant. I'll be looking forward to hopefully getting one of them at some point. Right, we're gonna get cracking straight into it. So I've got a selection of pre-decimal coinage from New Zealand, which we're going to go into. For those that aren't familiar, New Zealand, they were on pound sterling prior to introducing their own currency. I gave you a mail call shout out. Sorry, Tessa. Okay, mail call shout out for Tessa. Thank you very much. I'll have to check that out. So the New Zealand pound, that was pretty much it's been around prior to decimalisation. So we're going to go through a few of the bits and pieces now. Just bear with me a sec. Funny enough, one thing I didn't know, the New Zealand pound, normally with all the constitutional, the British Empire colonies, they were all matched to sterling, but New Zealand had during the Depression years of the 1930s, they had an issue with their exports because they were exporting a lot of agricultural products to England, and at that point there was a reduction. And what happened was the currency was devaluated to 16 shillings. To compensate for the exports. Now, at that time, Australia actually controlled New Zealand's banks. So we've got New Zealand just over here, and we've got Australia there. So Australia pretty much controlled the banks of New Zealand. Excuse me. So they decided to devalue the New Zealand pound. Obviously, in 1948, it was restored to its current 1-to-1 status, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, I've got a selection here that we're going to go through bit by bit. So he's Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. You can see his logo there. He sent through a fair amount. So I'm going to do all the pre-decimal stuff first. I'm going to go through the years. So this is a beautiful. Sorry, apologies. The pump's just come on. New Zealand 1958 penny. This is bronze. I'll see if you guys can get a proper look at that. There you go. I can't say for sure, Boss Killer. That's an interesting question. I doubt it. being part of the Commonwealth or the British Empire at that particular state. The stacking nerds in. We're going to have a look at the back here. So this is a 1958 piece. We're going to look at the bronze stuff first, and then we're going to look at some silver. So we've got a beautiful young head Queen Elizabeth II. There's a beautiful halfpenny here as well. This is 1952. It's got a Maori symbol on it. That was King George VI. Hope you guys can see this okay. The item here was a Maori neck pendant, apparently, is the way it's actually been described. Which I thought was interesting. Let's have a look here. We're going to look at those are the first two bronze pre-decimal pieces. So we're going to look at some silver here. We're going to start off with this beaut. It's one of the oldest pieces that Chrispy Kiwi sent through. It's a 1933 half crown. It's a 50% silver. As far as I know, Stephen Heath, New Zealand has always been New Zealand. I doubt it's been part of Australia. That's just a beautiful piece. 50% silver, 50% nickel. Yeah, the colour's pretty good there, Boss Killer. This is the coat of arms of New Zealand on the front, and that is King George V. This is in fantastic condition. I'd say it's probably between a very fine and an extremely fine example. Yeah, Clayton County, that is, yeah, it's a beautiful looking half crown. You can see the edging is still there. The description, there doesn't appear to be much wear on it. You can still make out obviously the wear in that or the clothing on King George there. The crown detail is still there as well. 1933. There's the coat of arms of New Zealand. And you can see there the Maori decoration just going around the sides here. Very nice indeed. Boss, I wouldn't say fine. I'd probably say more like very fine. Your fine would tend to show a lot more wear. Extremely fine is considered 90% of the condition of the coin is still present, and I can clearly see here this is more than 90% of the condition is still visible. The next piece I have for you is a 1934. This is a 1934 1 florin. So again, this is 50% silver, 50% nickel. That is the Kiwi. And again, we've got George V on the back. And you can see there the wear is a little bit more than on the previous coin. So that would more than likely be a fine to very fine condition. Cigar box silver, says British Empire coins are so beautiful. They're full of history and pride as well. Cyber Curtain Twitcher says, oh, nice half crown. Stephen Hughes says, that Kiwi bird really stands out though. Yeah, some of the world coinage, the stacking node is just phenomenal. There's so many very, very cool designs. I'd say if I was going to try and focus on something, it'd probably be British Commonwealth. So that would be Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or at least the older coins there. Stacking and prepping, hey buddy, thanks for coming. So again, Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. He sent through some awesome stuff here. That's the Kiwi. That's the 1 florin. 1 florin was 2 shillings, and then it was 12 pennies to a shilling. So that would be equivalent to 24 pennies. The next one we have here is a 1936. Again, the 50% silver. This is a sixpence. So again, this would have been King George V. The name of this bird is a little bit difficult to pronounce here. It's called a. It's the letter is spelled Huia. Probably Chrispy, if he ever comes in here, I'm sure he'll be able to pronounce that or get the pronunciation right. But that's the bird for New Zealand there, dated 1936. Also in fabulous condition. You can see it there. It's got a little bit of luster on it as well. King George V. Sorry, stacking and prepping. Just in case there's any questions, if you can sift through them in case there's any highlights. Unfortunately, I cannot see them right now. So stacking and prepping, if you can just go through it and just repost them. Beautiful, though. The next one's the 1 shilling piece. This is 50% silver again, 50% nickel. This is a Maori warrior in a sort of warlike stature. When they mean war during World War II, for instance, as this is dated 1946. 1 shilling, which would have been equal to 12 pence. This is in fantastic condition. It's got some lovely luster on it as well. Condition on that, let's see what the back is like. We've got King George VI. Some scuff marks on that. Again, the rim is still in beaded rim detail. At least very fine, if not too extremely fine on the front here. The front's just extremely well. The last of the pre-decimal coinage, we've got the 3 pence. These are 2 carved Maori weapons. The exact name for them, I'm just trying to think. They were called patu, something like that. It was the Maori, the indigenous people there in New Zealand, the Maoris. That was the weapons. This is dated 1942, so this is a war piece. Lovely condition as well. Got some nice luster to it. And that would be King George VI on the back. You see the title Emperor. Obviously, that refers to Emperor of India. Obviously, after India got its independence, the Emperor title fell away. Hence why on the later 1947 pieces, it just said King George the VI. Yeah, that's right, Silver Chimp. He said to me that yeah, he was going to be coming on. Silver Chimp's here. Thanks very much for dropping in. Tell him I say hello on the live stream. I'd appreciate that. That's I'm not sure what time it is currently in New Zealand. That's the pre-decimal stuff. So we'll just go through it again for those that have just joined. Just briefly, this is a 1958 1 penny. This is bronze. I think the bird is called the chew. And that would have been the Queen Elizabeth II young head. This would have been the this is the half penny. This would have been in the Maori necklace or pendant. Also done in bronze, beautiful condition as well. You can see the lusters there, 1952, and that would have been King George VI. And you can see it there. It doesn't say Emperor on it. It just says King George VI. Yeah, hopefully you guys can make it to the live streams tomorrow night. I put up the reminder there, so hit the notification bells for the live stream tomorrow. That's for the 500 goal. It'd be great if you guys were to make it. I know it is a bit of an odd time there for you guys in America, and likewise for the guys in Australia and New Zealand. This is the half crown. This bears the coat of arms of New Zealand. Lovely Mary detail there in the middle there, just fantastic. And then you've got King George the Fifth. So I'll try and speed this up a bit. So the one florin, that's the Kiwi, 1934. So that would have been 2 shillings. This is a recap, just in case those are just getting in there and they're wondering why I'm going through it so quickly. This is the 36 sixpence. I think this is pronounced a Huey or something like that. It's one of the birds there in New Zealand. And that would be King George the Fifth. And that's the 1 shilling. That would have been the Maori Warrior, 1946. King George the Sixth on the back. Also some nice lustre on it. Got 15 watching, 9 likes, guys. That's the last one there. The threepenny bit, 3 pence. That's correct, Silver Chimp. The Queen Elizabeth II is still considered head of state in Australia and New Zealand, and likewise with Canada. It's the reason why Canada still has the monarch on the coins, because the Queen is still head of state, even though they have their own parliaments. So just in case you didn't know that, they're still part of the. Well, they still have the Queen as their head of state. Going to move on to some decimal issues. Any more questions there? God save the Queen. Yeah, she's getting really old now, and I'd say probably a few people now are probably getting a bit concerned as to who's going to succeed her. Whether some say that it should pass down to William, but rightfully it has to go to Charles. So it'll be King Charles next. We're going to move on to the New Zealand dollar. Right, this was introduced in 1967 and replaced sterling. One thing to note on the earlier issues, so when we're talking within 3 years of release, what they did was, this is a 1970 uncirculated 20 cent. Obviously, all the silver was removed, so they had cupro nickel. Corns in the house, pre 33 collector. Right, so what they did was they kept the sizes the same. So, for instance, you had this florin here, just next to it, and what they did was, to show the values, the florin changed to 20 cent. So when decimalization occurred, they literally, you could run these two next to each other, and they'll be the same sizes. So 2 shillings became 20 cents, and so on and so on. Right, so we've got the Kiwi bird on this lovely uncirculated 20 cent piece. And you've got the tiara head Queen Elizabeth II, 1970. Thanks, Cigar Box Silver. Thanks very much for dropping in. That's awesome. Thank you for making it. Really, guys, I appreciate anyone just dropping in, saying hello, and getting on with their lives. I certainly understand. This is a 69 uncirculated 1 cent. All the later issues tend to be uncirculated here. And it's the tiara head Queen Elizabeth II. Lovely 69, very nice luster. Southside Stacker. I smashed David. Was that you smashed David, or was David saying hit that like button, Silver Chimp, or did you actually like smash him? That's the 1 cent. Beautiful detail on that 1 cent. So we put his sticker up here. Right, then we've got a 1979 2 cent piece. Now, he primarily sent this because of the 79, but again, it's just another piece of coinage. The 2 cent piece if we have a look at it here, no, I can't see it yet. That's the 2 cent. Oh, sorry. Sorry, there we go. Beautiful, lovely condition as well. Uncirculated, dated 1979. Sorry, the lighting isn't the best at this angle. Cool, I got a couple of mods in, guys. Thanks very much. I couldn't find much about that 2 cent piece, so it could be, I don't know if that's circulating. Chrispy, if you're watching there, I don't know if that is still circulated coinage. It could just be the lower the lower denominations are no longer around. Then we've got a beautiful 1983 5 cent. And it looks like some kind of lizard. Cooper nickel. It's a tiara head. I just left them in the sleeves. I wasn't going to initially I was going to put the gloves on and take them out, but you can pretty much see the detail fairly well here, guys. Then we got an 86. We got an 86 uncirculated 10 cent. It's looks like a bit of Maori detail again. And that's the mature head there, 1986. I don't know if that's what how they call it. I think it is. That's the 1986 head. Lovely uncirculated 10 cent Cooper nickel. Anyone got any questions currently at the minute? Here we go. Coins, there we go. Found the details there. Okay, so the 10 cent. That is supposed to be a Maori carved head, I believe. Yep. No, but it says copper plated steel. Yeah, it looks like the one and the 2 cents. I was actually correct. I couldn't find any details on it because these two pieces here are no longer in circulation in New Zealand. The lower denominations. Past coinage, and even apparently the 5 cent as well is no longer since 2006. So even the 5 cent was discontinued from coinage. Interesting enough. And even, wow, up to the 50 cent. So we've got the 10 here. That was discontinued in 2006. And there's a beautiful 1983 50 cent piece here. Cooper nickel. It's the Endeavour chip. Field Guy 316, welcome. That's uncirculated condition. And if you guys have seen the Rwandan piece, there's a Rwandan piece that a bullion piece that also commemorates the Endeavour. I was actually thinking that would have been one of my first pieces. And you've got a tiara head, Queen Elizabeth II there, 1983. Yeah, it's a very nicely detailed 50 cent. I like it with that chip detail. And funny enough, you might get collectors that tend to stick with it could be birds or ships. You might get collectors that just collect ship coins, some flower coins. You do get numismatists that just diversify with regards to images. Coin collectors here as well. Jeez, it's probably the first time I've had 3 mods in the room all in one go. Unfortunately, that has not appeared, buddy. I'm still missing a few of the bits, so yeah, hopefully it'll turn up. But apparently there has been a delay here. But yep, my goal's tomorrow evening. Just make sure you're aware of that. It looks like there was a new issue 10 cents and a new issue 20 cents and a 50 cent that came into effect that replaced those older coins. Just again, a special thanks to Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures for sending through these pieces. If there's anything you guys want me to show you while you guys are still here, thanks very much for dropping in, Silver Chimp. Appreciate it, my friend. It's awesome you could make it. Thank you very much for dropping in. I know everyone's got their busy lives, especially when if you're 5 hours behind. It's like 2 o'clock in America still, and depending on where you are, it's even 11 in the morning. Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you very much, Southside. Mike Wolf is here. Let's have a look. Got 13 watching a minute, guys. Thank you again. If there's anything you want me to just take out while I have these here, please just let me know. Don't show me any silver eagles. Stephen Heath, have you seen you can get it in the 5-ounce piece? I bet you that would look fantastic. A 5-ounce silver eagle. Phenomenal. Lake House Beach just arrived. Hey, buddy. I hope you're well. Silver Chimp, Lake House Beach, what's up? I am headed out the door. No problem. Coin collector. Stacking and prepping, how are you doing today? Hey, Southside, thanks for coming in as well. Clayton County History Hound, love it. Nice name. Cheers, Silver Chimp, thanks, buddy. Phil Guy 316 is here. David Carlisle. Stephen Heath, I wonder if Stephen Heath is still here. What region of Ireland do you live? Sorry, Silver Chimp, if you're still there, I live on the east coast, close to Dublin. Stephen Heath is still here. Okay, cool, buddy. RB was here. I don't know if he's still around. Stacking prepping, we are awesome today. Glad we were able to get on your live stream. Yeah, fantastic. Are you both? Are you both there, or is it just yourself, Mr. Stacking? Oh, brilliant. Okay, so you're both there. Just hello to Mrs. Stacking. Mrs. Stacking and prepping. Thank you very much. How's everyone doing otherwise today? You guys been busy? Have you got a lot to do still? I mean, I suppose it's still at least 2 p.m. there in America. I think my flags have stood up fairly well this week, considering that Silver Stanger's flag kept flipping over. Oh, she's not drinking today. Okay, yeah. I was tempted to have a drink earlier, but I'm just enjoying my tea. That's for celibate metal. Wonder if Sal will drop in. Mr. Stacking was singing in the last video. I see Stacking and Prepping got some Canadian silver. I thought that was an interesting video. If you guys haven't checked out Stacking and Prepping, please make your way there and check out their channel. Hit the subscription, please. Likewise with Southside Stacker, Coin Collector as well. If you guys can just go through there, that'll be fantastic. Did I blow everyone's speaker? I think I've got to check that out after this. Was that the Canadian one? Stacking and Prepping. I didn't see your new stickers, Lake House Beach. I'll have to just check that out. I've just it's difficult when you're at work to get on with work without having to look at various other things. So whenever I'm on my break, I try to catch up, and then when I get home, I try and catch up as well. I try and keep in touch with everybody that is subscribed, or at least I'm subscribed to, but it does tend to be very difficult, as I'm sure you all know. Southside Stacker, Stephen Heath, make sure you get some Britannias with those eagles there, bud. Well, actually, didn't Stephen Heath got himself a silver eagle? I think he must have caved, because he was like, no, silver. he couldn't stand it. And then I think on Southside Stacker's live stream, he was like, "Yeah, I got one." Did you get more than one, or did you get a few? Because I think I've got about five. Funny if it's one of those pieces I love handling. Occasionally I get my silver out and I'm like playing with it. Yeah, I can't sometimes can't actually help myself. Cool. There we go. Stephen Heath got two of them. I'm just about to fall over. Um, just ordered a 2017 Special Britannia. Was that? Yeah, that was the limited one, wasn't it? With the it's got the Trident Privy Mark, I believe, coin collector. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. Lake House Beach, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's so much good stuff out there that it's difficult to, constantly. You have to. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen intentionally, but it will happen in unintentionally that you're going to miss something. It's amazing. There is some interesting channels out there. There was Point A to Point Z. I watched one of his videos earlier. I hadn't. It's probably one of his my first video I watched of him. But also he won something off me. And he did a shout out. But Point A to Point Z was an interesting one. There's loads of little small channels that we need to try and get to, and I'm gonna put a shout out together for all those guys. Um, they're okay to throw across the room. He's starting to start throwing them at people. Like, yeah, I suppose you got to keep them handy. Hey, Stephen Heath, are they on the coffee table ready to go? Yes, limited to 120,000. Wow, that's a fair amount of mintage. Mintage. Why can't they just make it 100,000? Why is it going to be 120? Strange. Honestly, the Royal Mint. Okay, I've got to look up what the Britannia looks like. I'll tell you what. Give me a minute, and I'll get some stuff there. Yeah, that's the Britannia. Okay, that's the Oriental border, so that's a slightly different version, but very nice all the same. Do I? That looks like flipping milk spots. You guys see that? Oh, God, okay, that's interesting. That's the first I've seen that. Samantha Gilson, hello, welcome. But yeah, that's what the Britannia looks like. This isn't a bullion show, but just thought I'd show you that anyway. Let's have a look. I got 40 of the Trident Britannias. Yeah, again, it's it's a coin that hasn't really appreciated in value, considering that it's limited. I mean, you can still get them for a coin in 2017. That coin should have been sold out by now. So why hasn't it? That's my question out there. It's the same with the Isle of Man pieces, the 2018 proof coins that are bought that were limited to 15,000. You can still get them. It's like, what is going on? Yeah. So Samantha Gilson, hello. Lake House Beach says beautiful. Clayton Country House History Hound, nice, beautiful and way better than the ASE. Yeah, maybe. Lake House Beach, Southside Stacker, what is he up to? He's gone, let's ride. I guess that's probably me when I went to go and get that piece. Southside Stacker says, "Yep, the milk spots are rampant on the Royal Mint these days." I mean, that is definitely fresh. I don't remember seeing that. Well, I wouldn't say fresh, but I mean, do milk spots just appear? Man, customers are getting wise. Nobody wants to pay those crappy premiums for which coin. Yeah, look, yeah, I suppose that's if we're referring to the 2017. But again, I mean, I suppose it is going to go up in value at some point. I mean, I think it's. Where did you get that piece from, Coin Collector? Proof copper rounds. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you, Lake House Beach? Have you got some on your channel I can look at? I haven't seen the proof ones. The American Eagle is just one giant milk spot. uh, yeah, according to Stephen Heath, he says the American Eagle is one giant milk spot. Do you guys think so? To me, it doesn't look like a milk spot. That looks pretty good to me. Look, I'm very much I'm very interested. I like the American Silver Eagle. That's not going to change, Stephen Heath. Let's have a look. Coin Collector says agreed. I presume he's agreeing with Stephen Heath. Samantha Gilden says, I love the copper rounds. The shiny, the shine is stunning. Yeah, I tell you what's amazing. I suppose when you're crafting them, I suppose if you're able to do a different finish on them. But yeah, they do look quite nice. Coin Collector, bullion by post. Oh, is that where you got that from? Bullion by post. Is that the one in the UK? Because there's also bullion and post here in Ireland, but they're a bit of a rip-off as far as I'm concerned. Coin Collector, you'll probably get other alternatives if you go to some of the European sites. They might offer much more competitive pricing, and on some of them you may not necessarily pay VAT or slash sales tax. The limited ones are a joke. Yeah, look, I suppose when you got really low limited limited mintage, I suppose. I mean, if you look at the Germania coin, that is that's extremely low mintage. I wouldn't say extremely low, but for 25, maybe at the hype is pretty much what sold it. Because if I look at the Isle of Man proof coins, which are limited to 15,000, they're still readily available. But the BU, brilliant uncirculated Germania coins, are practically selling out and are going for 3 times what the value is. Stephen Heath says, I only say it to wind Southside Stacker up, and he bites every time. Bakehouse Beach, he says, anyone know of any good junk silver deals right now? Did you check out my Talking Spot video, Lakehouse Beach? Because there's a website I found there that you can get to. You just put it into Google. What was it? Find cheap silver or something like that? And it'll give you the best deal closest to spot. But if you want, just check out my my last video. I uploaded that, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday night. 2 nights ago. You can check that out, and then you can just get the details, and then you can work it from there if you want. Stacking and prepping, time to buy crypto. Oh, yeah, I'm a bit of a I don't know if you guys are interested in crypto, but I've been following crypto for months now, and I've bought crypto. Unfortunately, I've seen a bit of a depreciation, but I'm still adamant next year, based on the information out there, and when they start listing this stuff, it's gonna moon. So I'm definitely into crypto. I've got 2 crypto assets currently at the minute. I'm going to be buying more because there's just a huge like Black Friday sale on crypto at the minute, which is brilliant. But that's up to you guys. If you guys want to do your research and you're wondering what crypto is, or cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, that sort of thing, there's so much information out there, guys. And but yeah, it's up to yourselves if you want to investigate it. But I'm invested in that for sure, because personally I think that's the next big thing. I think companies are tired of fiat money. People are tired of bonds, treasuries, stuff that it's just making companies losses and losses and losses. And the next big asset to come out of this whole mess is going to be cryptocurrency, and even gold and silver. Should based on what I've seen, once people realize that what the potential is of gold and silver, it's going to be in its separate own asset class. That's personally what I think. And people will begin to appreciate it even more, and then we will see a rise in precious metals from next year. That's my thoughts anyway. Forgot crypto, the entire financial system will collapse, and silver will be the only thing left. I've said this to a lot of people. If you look at all the financial crashes that we've had in the past, what has always come out of it? We're still here. We're still spending money. They cannot afford to let the financial system collapse. End of story. So what will they do? They're going to find other ways, other means to keep the system going. That's it. Limey's day job is a is a crypto lobbyist. Hey, I didn't bring up the subject. Okay, Southside, give me some credit, man. I didn't even say that, but that's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm just sharing what I think. How will strippers get stacking and prepping? Says how will strippers get paid once just crypto? Um, well, I guess you'll be able to transfer crypto in a matter of seconds. Um, Hit that like button if you didn't, please. That's Lake House Beach. He's a mod in the making. Thanks, buddy. Coin Collector says, good question. Okay, that's right. We've been through that. Coin Collector says silver. Then crypto has what? Then crypto has no future if it's not a viable alternative. Well, you're absolutely right. Yes, but there are some cryptocurrencies that I won't mention that are better than Bitcoin. That have a large um, capital base that could be used as currency. Look, fiat money is still going to be around. It's just the value of what fiat money is going to be. Um, I mean, money's been around thousands of years. I somehow doubt that they're just going to drop it. Let's have a look there. Not suitable for use on mass scale. It's not suitable to be used on mass scale. What makes you say that, Coin Collector? Southside Stacker, Silver Lamy 79 used to be a salesman. Yeah. David Carlisle says crypto is worthless. You can't hold if you don't own it. Well, I mean, then if you were to say that, David, then that means anyone holding bonds or shares, um, anyone holding bonds, shares, treasuries is in the same boat. And then by that means you're basically saying Southside Stacker that whatever he's holding is worthless. Not at all. You Yeah, it's definitely, yes, that's what you're thinking, and what everyone tends to think. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. But if that was everyone's mentality, we wouldn't have a world financial system. Because even if I mean, who do you think owns that dollar note that's in your pocket, or the $5 note, or the $10 note that's in your pocket? Sydney isn't owned by the government. Um, Coin Collector says, "Oh, secret info to make millions." Lakehouse Beach says, "Preach, David." Stacky prepping. Damn, I started crypto haters. David Carlisle, you mean like APPL stock? Is that Apple stock? Sorry, I'm not. I've got no idea about stocks. I don't invest in stocks. So if you can elaborate on that, that'll be fantastic. You started a prison riots. Was that Coin Collector says lack of technology in parts of the world will hold it back, and vulnerability hacking of wallets. Well, first of all, hacking of wallets is near impossible. Because the crypto ledgers, when you transfer, or if you were trying to hack money out, you can only steal from the first ledger. Everything else needs to tie up. So you've got multiple ledgers all linked. So yes, you can probably hack in, but the ledger will note that there is an issue with that particular ledger based because it doesn't match. So anyone saying that they can hack in, the only way you could hack in is through exchanges. Basically, if you were to buy crypto from an exchange, that's why you've got to know where to buy from. And then they go, yeah, here you go. We'll give you 500. Meanwhile, they don't give you the 500 coins, and then they end up pocketing the cash. That's the only way you can do it. It says lack of well, I tell you what, Conclave, you said lack of technology in parts of the world. That's complete nonsense. If you look at the majority of countries or cryptocurrency countries that are seeing the benefit of cryptocurrency, they're all third world countries. So these are guys who are seeing that this is a major benefit for them, and between country to country transfers you can do in a matter of seconds. That's another thing to note. How long does it take you to do a transfer from America to Europe? It probably takes about 3 to 4 or 5 days. Whereas if you use a certain, not all the cryptocurrencies can do this, but certain cryptocurrencies can do a very large payment from United States to Japan in 4 seconds. So you can do, and you can do large amounts. If you were to do a $20 million transfer from the United States using the general banking system, and you were to transfer that money to Japan, first of all, they would probably charge you an exorbitant amount of money, probably 10% of, or even 5% of the fees. Whereas if you use crypto to do those exchanges, it would cost you an absolute fraction, 20 cents. It would cost you 20 cents to do that transaction. Sorry, Samantha's off. Thanks very much for dropping in, Samantha. That's awesome. Lake House Beach says, okay, sorry, Sheffield says crypto's enough for everybody. I'm sure we know where that's come from. Coin Collector says dozens of crypto exchanges have been hacked. Yeah, exactly. The crypto exchanges. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, but not the accounts. And the people have lost money. Countries that use it the most are highly technologically advanced, like Korea and America. I'd say the Koreans, there's a huge demand for crypto in the Korean, sort of your Indonesia, Korea, your Far Eastern countries see more of a benefit for crypto than we do on this side. Even in Europe, it's massive down that side of the world. And even Japan as well. Japan is a big contributor to the crypto market cap. Samantha Gibson, Salsa Stacker, wow, Limey is really getting his commission. Hey, people are asking me these questions. Guys, I won't be doing any crypto videos, just so you know that. I don't have that knowledge to put out a video there. I know one of the guys asked me to consider doing it. But thank you, but I'm not that clued up. All I know is my investment that I've invested into crypto. I focus on that, but I won't be doing any videos. There's loads of videos out there. There's loads of great channels. You guys can try it out. There's a couple of awesome channels out there if you guys want the information. Let me know and I'll put it there. Yeah, it's called the CC. I'm calling it the CC. Anybody want in? Southside Stacker, the Crypto Consortium. Oh, where's Bullion Bouncer? Bullion Bouncer would rip the flipping place. I can tell you that now. That'd be great to see him. Okay, so Stephen Heath says, "Come on, Silver Lime 7. How much are you getting paid for this ad?" Hey, well, how else am I supposed to make money? No, I'm kidding. I don't get any money on that. So no, definitely not. Dan's Coins. He's been absent for a while. If you guys haven't seen Dan's Coins, go check him out. He's been studying, so he hasn't been on YouTube much. Thanks very much for coming through, Dan's Coins. Let's really double check the chat up here. Coin Collector, dozens of crypto exchanges. Yep, you've already been through that. Also, China has basically outlawed it, and they are gradually taking up. Yeah, they've outlawed certain coins, i.e., well, first of all, Bitcoin. 80% of Bitcoin miners are actually located in China. Also, if you think about it, Russia and China are currently buying copious amounts of gold, and that is because their dependence on US dollars, they no longer want it, basically because, I mean, the mess, I wouldn't say the mess, but due to the embargoes, not embargoes, the trade disputes between China and the United States. So you've got China and Russia buying more and more gold. that eventually they could well return to a gold standard. And where would that leave America, I wonder, with their petrodollar? Let's have a coin collector says, because if the largest economy in the world doesn't accept it, then no one will. Look, also another thing to note about crypto is the stock exchange is the next form of where they plan investing in technology, and they're talking about tokenizing all the stocks, because you've got certain cryptocurrencies that allow up to 4-second transfers. So and this is out there, you guys can Google this stuff, that they want to tokenize, or they're looking at considering tokenizing all the shares, because it'll make it much more efficient. So where did they get the idea of tokenization from? Crypto. Let's have a look. Stephen Heath says, okay, Dan's Coins, Sweet Silver, Crypto Consortium, that's right. I am the CC. Oh yeah, well, sorry, Coin Collector's already got that one. We'll have to call it something else. The Crypto Syndicate. Dan's Coins, want to join Limey's Pyramids. It's definitely not a pyramid scheme, buddy. That's good. Sure, there we go. Even agrees. Limey79, next video will be entitled Crypto to Crypto. What about from silver to crypto? Southside Stacker. He's laughing. Dan's Coins. Hey, Coin Collector. Hey, Dan's Coins. That's not even slick. Crypto to crypto is so on the nose. Anyway, sorry guys. Getting back to the show. Coin to coin. Obviously, we're pretty much finished. Anyone have any questions or want me to show them any coins here? I think we've got the same amount of people, so you guys have probably seen all the actual coins. Do they take crypto at the crack house? Probably not yet. You'll probably find they're a bit behind on the technology side of things. You know, they like to keep it simple. They're predominantly fiat only. But yeah, they're talking about integrating crypto into Crackdo. If you can, I think that's probably what they're going to call it. They're going to call it Crackdo. So yeah, they might be considering doing that, David. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Crackdo. There we go. That's got a pretty good name, from crypto to Crackdo. There we go. Contact says crypto is over 200 years ahead of time. If you look at the first time Western countries used banknotes in the 18th century, it was a disaster. They used a huge depression. Yeah, but the thing is, we've been so used to money. Another good thing is, I mean, as a reference, look at the, you know, whenever new technology came through in the earlier 1800s. I mean, look at the railway, for instance, the railway that built America. You had this technology rolled out throughout the United States, and what did it do? It created loads of opportunities for everybody until it all collapsed. But at that particular stage, there was no other technology other than the railroad. And look how many companies expanded into it, and look how many loans were offered in order to get the railroad through America. And that was new technology, because you could ride from New York or take the wagon trail from New York to Los Angeles, and how long would it take? And all of a sudden you can do let's say New York to San Francisco. Obviously when they completed that line, but that's one way. Coin Collector says you can't compare. Hey, I'm talking about technology. You're saying technology 200 years behind. Well, what about the railroad when that came in? That technology was available, and how quickly was that brought through? Economy, jeepers, Coin Collector, buddy. I think you need to do your research. Economy's not ready for it. The economy is ready. The world economy is ready for crypto. Absolutely. Limey is zero morals. You're so cracked out to you, baby. Sorry, we can kindly move on from crypto here because I think that's what we're focusing on. Railroads are not a form of currency, but I'm talking about technology. That's what I said. I said technology. I didn't say currency. Well, railroads. I'm talking about technology, Southside Stack. I'm talking about technology, the technology of the railroad when that was first instituted and how quickly it spread. Yeah, I clearly you're not ready for it, Coin Collector. You will obviously see, buddy, in due course. You're going to see next year what is going to be going on because crypto is here to stay. Exchanges are going to be listing it. You're going to see it. You can check it out. The Nasdaq are looking at it. Wall Street's looking at it. If you're saying it's not ready, I completely disagree based on the information out there. Let's have a look. Not, not railroad. Stephen, are you listening to this? Oh, well, are you listening to it? Southside Stacker, Dan's Coins, Railroads for Life. Yeah. Look, again, it was just the technology because the railroad, really changed everything for a lot of people. But anyway, I think we can move on from that. Limey's willing to beat up his own mods over crypto. What do you mean? He was just saying. I'm just stating the fact. Again, you can look at it out there. Oh, jeez, I think at this rate, this is going to be a Discord. Why don't we change the subject, please? Yes, but the spread of different technologies takes different time periods. What about mobile phones? Crypto's been around a very long time. If you look at the actual history when it was first formulated, crypto was probably in the 1990s. The idea of crypto was first started back then. Let's have a look. Yes, but the spread. Let's have a look. Stop talking about railroads. Stephen Heath, Silver Lively 79 is obsessed with cryptos. Infuriating. This is never going to end. Well, of course it is. It can end when you guys want to stop talking about it. Hit that like button. Well, what else can we talk about, guys? Let's have a look. Did anyone get any new coins? I'm pretty much done for silver at the minute. What? Well, Southside, it's probably a good idea to know what you're investing in. If you know what you're invested in, then you know where it all started. Two Morgans and a peace dollar. Okay, cool. So Dan's coins got two Morgans and a peace dollar. Kong says, let's talk about Dan's coins, please. Oh, that's exactly what I did. Just my Gold Britannia. Okay, yeah, so Stephen Heath got the Gold Britannia. I haven't got anything other than a digital form of currency. I will film it. Okay, cool, Dan. And then let me know when you got that PO box. I've got that coin I want to send through to you. So just let me know when you want to do that. Let me know, and then I'll get that sent to you, buddy. Yeah, I got a new silver coin. Bought it from. Southside, I am not going to answer that, buddy. I'm sure you can answer the question on your own. Can you email a few cryptos? I thought you guys wanted me to stop talking about this. Please no SS. Well, have we moved on to World War II symbols? I'm done arguing. What arguments? I want to get Bitcoin. Dad says I've actually got a physical Bitcoin here somewhere. Southside Stacker says, "Ooh, what a host! Wow, what a host!" South side, and we got Clayton country. It's an Indian head, cent or penny. Well, that should get things going. Is it Indian head? Stephen, he says, I like seeing corn blow his top. Corn Clayton says, check out my video on an Indian head penny. Certainly check that out in a sec. Southside lol, here we go. No, SS Southside Stacker. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's talk about the mint. Which mint are you referring to? I'm going to have to do I've got some awesome Canadian bullion, which I haven't actually done any videos on yet. I wouldn't say awesome, but just, I got like a 1 1/4 ounce bison. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I must actually do, I was going to do a series of Canadian coins. That's probably my next bit. I guess I'm quite lucky. I've got some stuff I can actually still film there. Yeah, Perth Mint, absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, is number one. No argument there, Southside Stacker. Although I wonder what Stephen Heath is going to say. Funny enough, I haven't seen any milk spots on any Perth Mint issues. Has anyone come across anything? Canadian or Perth Mint? Let's talk about the first 3 years of the First World War. I mean, that's the only way to keep the Yankee coins. Dan's Coin says he's got a Canadian silver dollar. Conclave says always turning up late. No milk spots on my Canadian mint coins. Okay, that's interesting. Only milk spots from the Perth were on the kangaroos. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because the kangaroos are the bullion piece. It's only the koalas and the other, well, the lunar series that are encapsulated. Has anyone got any of the rare pieces? Let's say rare. I'll tell you what I'd love to get my hands on is that dragon one. The dragon 1 ounce coin bar in gold. Oof, that just looks fantastic. Oh, there we go. Stephen apparently says he's got a milk spot on the swan. That's terrible, man. Dan's Coin says he's got a rare piece. What is that, Dan? Guys, thanks very much. I've got 20 likes at the minute, which is great. Got 10 watching. On the swan. Well, yeah, that's actually that. I think the swan is which one have you got? The 2018 or the 2017? Has anyone picked up any pandas? Anyone picked up any pandas? Spots. Right. Okay. Both spots, unfortunately, 2017, because I think that's the more. I think that's the rarer one, or the more expensive one of the two. Anyone picked up any proof coins? Yeah, I suppose I'm technically just saving for next year now. I suppose I'm going to try and get my wife to buy some silver for me for Christmas. I might even be tempted at. What are you guys' thoughts on buying a small gold coin, like a 20th of an ounce or something like that? I know the premiums are high, but I suppose if someone else is buying it for you, does the premium really matter? If someone is buying you some gold, because I think that would be awesome, even if it's a little 20th of an ounce. I mean, you can buy these 20th of an ounce pieces, and they don't cost a lot of money. It's the end of my fiscal year, so no new purchases for me until 2019. Okay, cool. That makes logical sense. I suppose you want to build up your 2019 coins for next year. Excuse me. Do you reckon you might buy some the junk silver? I suppose the majority of some of the stuff is collectible as opposed to constitutional. Coin Sense and Nonsense is here. Ah, fantastic. I was watching his last one there. He was doing a dime and $half hands. Awesome channel, guys. If you guys haven't been to Coin Sense and Nonsense, go check him out. He's awesome. And everyone at work can't really stay. But look, yeah, thanks very much, Coin Sense and Nonsense, for dropping in. I really appreciate it. I love it when people just drop in, even if it's quick, like hi, see ya. That's awesome. Dan's Coins, apparently he's got a gram of gold. Conglin says I'll go for a half sovereign. Yeah, I mean the thing is though, a half sovereign is you're at least looking at least over €100. When I'm talking cheap, I'm talking cheap like the bird. Cheap. So let me have a look at the Lunar series. Let's see what their gold sale stuff is going for. So a 20th of an ounce rooster. We'll be looking at a 20th of an ounce rooster is about €74. So yeah, I'm talking like under 100 would have been great. That would make. I mean, if you think about it, be a great gift from somebody. At least you don't have to worry about postage. They worry about it. If you want cheap, get silver, says Coin Collector. Well, nothing like a bit of gold. Dan's Coin says you might get a gram of gold from the Canadian Mint. Sorry, I thought you had a gram of gold. Cheers, Coin Sense and Nonsense. Just in case you've gone there. Keisha, hello Keisha. Welcome. We got Dan's Coins. David Carlisle, of course, the premium doesn't matter. Buy me one. Yeah, exactly. I suppose when someone else is buying the gold or the silver for you, what does premium matter? If you want, okay, yeah. A Coin Collector says simple choice. Then go big. Then go big or go home. Yeah, but I mean, try and tell your friend, like, if they ask you, what do you want for Christmas? Yeah, I tell you what, I'd love a half ounce. That'll be great. They say, go big or go home. How much is that? Well, it's about €500. I know you missed out on my birthday last year, so maybe you could split that up. But yeah, I suppose I'm thinking really, really small, Coin Collector. But yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, if I was buying it myself, I hear what you're saying. I would definitely go for a quarter ounce at least, or maybe even a tenth of an ounce. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, from a friend with a bit of money in his pocket, would probably easily shell out €70 versus 120, €130 for a 10th ounce. But yeah, in fact, might even be tempted to tell my wife to get me a 10th ounce, a 10th ounce of gold. Oh, I don't know, maybe. Conflict says, well, it's obviously an honest answer. Sheffield says, buy what you can afford. Silver Lamy 79. Again, don't forget, you're spending money on stuff that is not that easily changeable. So he brings up a good point there. He says spend what you can afford. So again, if you've got €150 in the bank and you want to buy something, then probably spend the €70 buying something, or buying 5 ounces of silver, and just making sure you've got money there. You don't want to be constantly selling your stack when you need the money. Yeah, go for the 10th ounce. Yeah, absolutely. I hear what you're saying. My wife is about to walk in shortly. I can hear the music blaring in the car outside. So just in case you hear the door open, that's my wife just walking in. She'll probably be giving me a shout in a minute to give her a hand. Probably. I've got 11 watching. Are you guys? I presume you guys are going to be watching. What's it? Coast to Coast Stacking. Apparently, that should be pretty good. I wonder who the guest is. Who's going to be the guest for the Coast to Coast Stacking? Anybody know? Ding dong. Yeah, you can. I can hear the wheel spin. The bloody car's wheel spinning outside there. The gravel's flying everywhere. Even the pigs are like running away and diving. Cheers, coin collector. Cheers, bud. Thanks for coming in. Always good. Silver Leo's here. Hey, Silver Leo, how are you? Yeah, thanks, buddy. We're coming to the end of it now. You're welcome to check the playback. There was some awesome coins from this man here, Chrispy Kiwi Adventures. I've put his logo. He's the contributor to the New Zealand coins that we have here. I managed to just get the angle right, so we've got to the countries. You might even shoot from this angle from now on to get everyone's details in. So just a shout out again to Silver Stanger, Alex Coinwell Hunter, Andre G, Sander V, Ancient Numismatics, Jim Bob Slim Pickens, and we've got Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're all good. Just cleared your 4th gold. Wow. Okay, so you picked up another Decat. That's very nice. Mellow Stacker is here. Hey, buddy. 9 fine Stacker as well. Oh my, like, yeah. Well, we're still okay. We're still currently here, but you can check the playback. 9 fine Stacker. I was just going through a few bits here. Going to be enough. Right, guys. I might have to sign off in a minute because the battery is probably going to go down. But we've just about come to the end of the live stream anyway. I'm just keeping an eye on it because okay, battery's at 2%. We are still okay, but the battery is low. Okay, we're still okay. We're still charging, which is great. If you scroll back, Limey has a wonderful pyramid scheme. Happy business opportunity for you all. I'm not gonna go into that. Southside Stacker. So we've got 11 watching in the minutes, guys. Yeah. So just to recap, then, Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. You sent through some decimal coinage and some pre-decimal stuff here. So I'll be more than happy to show it to you guys. Just want to make sure that this is going to charge. Cool. So, let's have a got some questions. Shoutout, if field guy, do I become rich? Well, that's up to you. Southside Stacker, lol. I ain't. Cool. Okay, so we're still okay. Yeah. So why haven't you cooked dinner for Mrs. Silver Limey 79? Yeah, my wife is shaking her head or nodding her head in that on that particular question there, Sheffield, which generally means that we have come to an end. So guys, thank you all very much for joining me on the live stream. I know some of you that came in earlier and some that had come from the start. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget the 500 sub goal is going to be tomorrow. Silver Leo says night. Well, it's still... what? Stephen Heath says... Limey's in trouble. Southside Stacker says, next up, Limey gets beat up by his wife live. Well, she's the one that's got the pants. Yeah. She's still got my pants locked away, man. Let's have a look. We're still okay. Okay, we're still at 2%. Yep. What was that? The pants syndicate or something like that, wasn't it? Southside. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's 11:45. Silver Leo says, probably because I presume he's probably on the west coast then, if I'm not mistaken. So Silver Leo, the west coast of America. And the pan stealing syndicate, yeah, that was the one. He's grounded. No beer for a month. I barely have any beer. Oh, maybe that's true.
Sorry.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Just again, special thanks to Chrispy Kiwi Adventures for the contribution for the Coin to Coin series. Definitely check out his channel. I'm gonna go back to the video. I'll put the information there. You can check out his channel. I'm sure all of us here, I mean, we're all the regular viewers here. We're probably all connected with everybody here. But guys, in case you haven't seen, Ancient Numismatics, Sander V, Andre G, Alex Cornwell Hunter, Silver Stanger, Jim Bob Slim Pickens, and then lastly, Chrispy Kiwi's Adventures. Guys, I will see you tomorrow night then. So we got the 500 sub giveaway. So get your reminders. We're going to start that. I think we got it on for 7:10 Irish time. I'll see you guys there. Thanks very much for joining me on the Coin to Coin live edition. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much for coming through, guys. Cheers, everyone. Southside Stacker. Thanks, Sheffield. Stephen Heath. Andre G. David Carlisle. We got Clayton Country History Hound, Mellow Stacker, Field Guy 316, Silver Leo. Hope I haven't missed everyone there. Guys, I'll see you on the live stream tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of the evenings, wherever you are in America, around the globe, in the UK. Guys, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video.